Thank you so much, our board chairperson of Reach a Hand Uganda, the National Female Workers MP, the chairperson of the National Youth Council, the chairperson of the West Nile Education Fund, the CEO Reach a Hand Uganda, Humphrey Nabimanya, my brother. Ladies and gentlemen, our graduates tonight, good evening. I greet you all in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. Our Muslim brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. My name is Phiona Nyamutoro. Well, I've already been handed an award, lest it wouldn't make any sense to introduce myself, but in case our paths haven't crossed, it's important that I still mention. When I was listening to Humphrey lead the citation and all the others that added on their voices, I was seated there and I was like, hey mama. I'm so humbled by the heartfelt words and the gesture to hand me this award of the Star, is it Star Hall of Fame? Star Hall of Fame. Star Hall of Fame from Reach a Hand Uganda. Like my brother Humphrey rightly stated, I have been part of Reach a Hand Uganda. I think the very first cohort of peer educators. I've walked quite a journey with them, and Reach a Hand Uganda has contributed to my life in ways that I cannot just express in words. It has contributed to my leadership, it has contributed to my social life, and it has also contributed to the lens in which I view community development as a person. It's been a great journey, starting this from way back, from advocating for sexual reproductive health and rights, from being misconstrued, for promoting a wrong agenda, for being misunderstood, for thinking that we are spoiling the young people of this generation, to now having a room of young people who are proud to associate and see that this agenda is taken forward for the betterment of productive citizens in the country. It is not work that has come easy. There is a lot of success that has been highlighted this evening, which is evident from the faces that are graduating tonight. And the continuous graduations over the years have only proved that this is working. You know, sometimes as leaders, you come up with policies and agendas that when it comes to implementation, they hit a snag because of one reason or another. But Reach a Hand has consistently been progressive in everything that they do. It simply means that they are speaking the right language and they are speaking to the core issues that affect the young people in this country. I once said, Reach a Hand does not just end at being the heart of young people, but it has proven as a bedrock of progressive young people that we can point at in public and say this was a product of Reach a Hand. Myself, I have been a beneficiary, and it is such an honor to testify before you this evening. It's not every day. I used to wonder whether it's an African mindset that the young are not so appreciated during their youthful times. And this was one of the worries that drove the passion in leadership for me as a young person. But today, to see people actually appreciate young leaders and want to explore more of the potential that they can present is a dream fulfilled for me. I keep telling my friends, like Honorable Naku said, in the youth circles, we have those terms such as generational youth leader. I am one of those young people in the country that God used as a litmus test, as a torchbearer for my generation. And I'm glad that to some extent I can stand proudly before you and say, I think I have tried. Across the country, when I ran a national campaign for National Youth Member of Parliament, it was the best experience that I would never trade anything for in my life, because I got the opportunity to interface with the most brilliant, the most innovative minds that this country has not yet tapped into. And Reach a Hand is helping me bridge that gap by doing the same. One of the greatest fulfillments that I have had during my leadership is to have uncountable numbers of young people. Sometimes they might not understand that I personally get overwhelmed as well by their comments, of many of them saying, if Honorable Nyamutoro can be this, then I can also do. During my leadership, if it is something that I would want anybody to borrow a leaf from, is the fact that we can stand and show the young generation that everything is possible. You are not too young to lead, and yes, you can inspire. One of the greatest challenges I have had is to try and fulfill the expectations that young people see and admire from a distance. In the journey of creating inspiration, many of you ask me questions when we interface, and people want straight up answers. Someone wants to walk up to you and say, Nyamutoro, how do you do this? I want to become a leader. How do I go about it? And I want to tell you that I do not have a script of how you can become a good leader. But from my own perspective and from my own journey, perhaps I can say, watch and learn. And that is a notion that Reach a Hand has tried to translate in different spheres of life. Reach a Hand is reaching out to young people with a message that we make sure this message does not just end in the boardrooms. We take it down to the different communities. We try and create dialogue platforms. We even visualize it in the filmmaking and other creative sectors, so that when young people are speaking to factors that actually affect them, they speak from an informed point of view. They speak of youth-tailored solutions that can change tomorrow. They fully understand what they would want in terms of policy change and what they would want when they visualize or envision a better Uganda tomorrow. I hope that each of you that has had this opportunity does not just take it as a socializing group that you passed through. I hope that this opportunity births many more greater leaders, greater than Phiona Nyamutoro, greater than Naku Phiona, greater than Ongom Dennis, greater than Humphrey Nabimanya. Leaders that will be able to bring us back here tomorrow and say, these people laid the foundation, and now we want to take it on from here by adding on our own bricks. It is not easy to wake up and have consistent celebrations of young people that have been able to streamline their visions. Because one of the greatest challenges we have, my brother Humphrey, you've always known, is that for many young people of our generation, the vision is not clear. They are not so certain about what they want to do, where they want to go. With this era of social media and the internet, you know a little bit about everything, but you actually don't know something to detail. You actually cannot outline what your niche is and say, me, if I'm to speak about sexual reproductive rights and health, I would speak to it and give a thorough explanation that there would be no gaps left. And we keep challenging the young people. Please make sure that you always prepare yourself to be among the best. Make sure that you are that young person. If they are to speak to a certain sector, if I turn around right now and say, now we are talking about the creative sector, who is the best in film? We can mention your name. If we turn to music and say, who is the best in music? We can call you out. If we turn to leadership and say, who is the best on this particular topic? Who is most passionate about it? Brand yourself with a niche that can easily identify you among the millions of young people that we have in this country. And with that, you'll be open to boundless opportunities that not even myself know how far you can go. I would really be so delighted tomorrow if I can meet any of you in the corridors. And your introduction is that I was a member of Reach a Hand, this cohort, and I am happy that today I'm here and this is where I want to go. In the event that you need any support from us, your leaders, even when I'm no longer a youth member of parliament, I am still readily available to always offer all the support that I can to the young people. While I was National Youth Member of Parliament, right before my appointment for minister, at that time, our advocacy on sexual reproductive health and rights was particularly on seeing that the different districts in the country pass ordinances that each school has a sexual reproductive health and rights club. And so far, we had documented about 16 schools out of 16 districts, sorry, not schools, 16 districts out of 146 districts across the country. I hope that the Parliamentary Forum on Youth Affairs takes on this advocacy. Honorable Naku, I'll charge you with that assignment to ensure that other districts also follow suit and do the same. We were also pushing for the review of the National Health Policy. And while we were seated there on the table, I was asking our chairperson of board that how far with these reviews. And he told me there is no progress yet. So I would like to charge you, the young people, to become the voices of reviewing these policies. We need a review on the National Health Policy. We need a review on the National Adolescent Policy. We need a review on the National Sexual Reproductive Health and Rights Policy. For me, I think if we are able to achieve this in the next 1 year, we would have strengthened the foundation that we are building on. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great honor to receive this Hall of Fame 2025-2026. I'm greatly humbled. I want to say that I think my flowers have been given to me before my time expires on earth. I now have something that will be added onto my autobiography. Thank you so much for celebrating me tonight. Congratulations to our graduates. Thank you for putting in your time, for choosing to be different, for choosing to be productive, for choosing to be part of Reach a Hand Uganda. And now that we have stretched out to Reach a Hand Africa, I'm very certain it's just a matter of time we shall become Reach a Hand International. May the good Lord bless you all. I wish you the very best in all your endeavors. I wish you success. I wish you growth. I wish you all the best that life can offer.
Thank you. Let's appreciate Honorable.
This is DJ Lisa.
Thank you so much, Honorable. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for the kind words. MC, over to you. MC.
Thank you so much, our CEO, Mr. Humphrey Nabimanya. We kindly request you to remain there as the cohort of the graduados want to present something to you. The 2025 class, kindly take the mantle.
I request Benson and Daphne to come and help me receive this. Lynn, Mark, Chantal,